Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sultan. I'm an ST4 Histopathology trainee in East of England. In the past few years, the competition ratio for ST1 Histopathology training posts has completely gone out of hand. In 2023, the competition ratio was around 3.4, and in 2024, it's gone up to around 5, and then in 2025, it skyrocketed to 9.4. Across all of these years, the jobs were always around 100 to 110, but the number of applicants have increased dramatically, from 380 to 600 to around 940 applicants for the same job. So in 2025, the success rate was around 10%. However, in my interview crash course, the success rate is around 46%. That is at least fourfolds the national average. And these scores were only from the people who responded to my survey, so that's a minimum number of successful applicants. If you're interested, you can go down to the bio. I'll leave a link where you can book your interview crash course with me. The seats are intentionally limited because I want to interact with my candidates and I want to also be more attentive to all your needs in each session. So in this video, I'll be touching on three main topics. First, I'll be talking about the interview and what changed compared to the past years. I'll be talking about the interview structure briefly. I also have a free video on YouTube that offers a more in-depth talk about the interview and how to tackle it. And lastly, I'll be giving you my own tips on how to pass against all odds, because you can. So what changed this year? So in the past, at least when I applied a couple of years ago, they used to take the self-assessment score, combine it with your interview score, and then you get a final score, and based on that, you are given jobs. Now, this has completely changed now. They use the self-assessment score simply for shortlisting, meaning they're just going to use it to give people interviews, and then your interview score is the only thing that matters for job allocation. So for the histopathology interview structure, it's slightly changed this year, but the fundamentals remain the same. Now, you can find everything on the official website, but I'll be talking briefly about the different stations and what you should expect. So it will be divided into two stations, station 1 and station 2. You may start at either station, is my understanding. And in station 1, the first question is going to be interpret an image. You're going to be presented with an image. It could be absolutely anything from an art to a more realistic image, and then you'll be asked to describe it. Now, what they're looking at is whether you have a system, a methodical way to describe the image, not your accuracy of describing an image. So if you make an interpretation that is slightly different to a different candidate, then that's absolutely fine. If you see a tinge of orange and you interpret that as autumn, someone else interprets it as fire. Now that does not matter at all. They just want to see if you're following a system, following a structure, and able to express yourself and describe what you see clearly. So in other words, accuracy is not as important as your systematic approach. The second question is histopathology as a career, also known as the CV or portfolio station. They will be asking you about yourself. Why do you want to do histopathology? And if you understand what histopathology is all about, why do they have to be doctors? And why do you want to do histopathology? So the third question is case study. Now, I noticed there is some variability in each year about what case study is, but I would advise that you prepare for postmortem and how to write an MCCD, which is the medical certificate of cause of death. So I would advise that you read up on the most common conditions for the pathophysiology section, including heart failure, COPD, liver failure, diabetes. All of these are fair game and they might ask about any one of them. Now, obviously, I would recommend that you know their definition, what the symptoms are, how the pathophysiology is for each condition, and maybe know a bit or two about management. However, please focus on their question. Only answer what they're asking you. If they say, describe the pathophysiology, just describe it. Do not go and talk about management if they have not asked you about management. And in station 2, you'll be starting with the teamwork and MDT station. Now, they want to understand if you know what histopathologists do in an MDT, who participates in it, and what are the pathologist's contribution essentially. As for teamworking, they'll probably give you a few questions about a department that is understaffed or people are calling in sick, and they want to see your problem-solving skills. They want to see how you prioritize work, ensure patient safety, and perhaps your willingness to help each other. And then you have the clinical scenario station. They will give you a very clear and easy station. This is not a station to test your knowledge of all the conditions. They just want to see if you're able to tackle it in a systematic way, that is taking good history or what part of the history you want to know, your examination, if you're able to involve your seniors and appropriately, your investigations should be as well in a systematic manner. And then the other considerations, such as if there's an infection, is it a notifiable disease, or do you need to isolate the patient, do you need to inform the ward nurses, etc. So they just want to see your overall ability to handle a complex situation. Then the last station is clinical audit and errors. Now, I would advise that you know what a clinical audit is, know the audit cycle, the difference between research and audit, and know the main types of error and how they are applied in the NHS. You can have a look at my other YouTube video where I talk a bit more in depth about all of these stations, and it's completely obviously free. And finally, the last part of this video, how to pass against all odds. Persistence is key. Obviously, many people don't get in from their first attempt. They usually get in on their second or third attempt. I personally got in on my second attempt. However, I only got the interview once. And once I got the interview, I completely smashed it. Thankfully, that secured me my job. In my first application, I was excluded before even getting an interview, which is quite frustrating because I knew that I would do good if they've given me the chance to attempt an interview. You might grow tired of hearing this, but practice is absolutely the key to passing the interview. Passing the interview is an intentional act. Anyone who tells you that I just showed up and passed the interview is not telling you the full truth. They've prepared, they've written down their portfolio, they've practiced how they speak, they've practiced how they present themselves, they're probably prepared for other interviews, or they've done their research into what is important for histopathology, what histopathology is all about. I'd also recommend to utilize all the material available to you. Now, whether it is free material like my YouTube videos or paid courses, whether be it my course or someone else's course, just utilize something. Do a course, subscribe to a training material, anything, just use it, because getting a job is so hard nowadays and you want to maximize your scores in any way possible. I would also highly recommend Smartly course as an interactive platform because many people don't have anyone to practice with. So it is especially important for those individuals to try to practice with either a senior colleague, or they can use Smartly as a platform to practice. Additionally, I came across a few candidates who have succeeded, and when I spoke to them, they have actually done my course and they've utilized Smartly and they practiced with colleagues. So the more you do, the higher your chances to pass. So finally, please do not forget to book your place in the interview crash course if you're interested. And if you like this video, subscribe, like, and watch all my other videos, which are completely free on YouTube. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you again.